So I am honored to be part of the speaker here. I was assigned by Doc Sopon to discuss, no, looking at the presentation this morning. It talks about the macro. Now I will deep dive into the micro and pertains to valuation and planning. And this also reinforces what Dr. Om discusses recently. We call it Uncle Om. Thank you. Okay, so this is about particular experience, no? Practices that we have in Cebu, Philippines. This place, we call that, we dub it as a billionaire's row because this place uh, where the top world brands in hotels and condominiums are located, no, in this place. So you can see here, this is like a peninsula type. It is the tip of the island of Mactan, but though it is long and narrow island tip. However, here the top brand in hotel like Dusitani, Shangri-La, Sheraton, Crimson, and name it, and you can find it in this place. No? So here, as a valuer, our company conducted valuation in this place, and we find out we applied different approaches and we came out with different value. That's what I will be sharing to you this afternoon. So as you can see, this is Punta Engaño, no? The top brand. This is facing the other island because uh, Lapu-Lapu or the Cebu is composed of the whole Visayas is composed of 100 more than Cebu is there, no? This portion, and if the Visayas, this one is Cebu, and this portion is Lapu-Lapu. This is the subject area. You can see the whole Visayas is fragmented with different islands. That's why it's ideal for beach resort. This location. Most of the properties here are engaged in beach resort and ocean front. No? That's ideal. So Lapu-Lapu is a gateway to world class, as I've said. There are so many tourists because also Lapu-Lapu hosted the Mactan International Airport, which is the back door, no, the gateway to the Visayas and Mindanao. So it greatly helps to the economy of the province and the city, and also the emerging trends in ecotourism. No? There are tourism that not only to visit, no, because this place is known for its islands and beaches, best beaches in the country, and also it's an historical. So you can see here, this is Mactan. No? This is the place, the location, and this is the island tip. And this is the marker where Magellan landed undefeated by Lapu-Lapu. So that's why Mactan is very historical. So combination of tourism, which is based on beaches and resort, and the heritage and the history, we the Lapu-Lapu able to capture, no, the market accessibility because it has Mactan International Airport, and it also host in the Mactan Export Processing Zone. So the key factors driving the hotel valuation in this side, now we have appraised various hotels in Cebu and also in this area. The number one factor that drives the the prime location, the proximity to beaches, airports, and cultural. You can find in this area, you just drive for an hour, you can reach the city, and then you can reach the airport. In 20 minutes, you can reach the airport, and you can reach the rural areas for an hour drive, from the airport. So that's accessibility. We have at least three bridges that connects the island to the main island. Then the market trends, customer preferences, and occupancy rates. Now we are increasing after the pandemic. Our tourists now, we can say that we have surpassed already, the previous pre-pandemic, the pre-pandemic record. During the pandemic, our tourism deep dive, it dives, because of the lockdowns. However, today we already reaches the higher than before, And sustainability, we have eco-friendly certification and then increased appeal to tourism. No, we at this moment we already hosted what we call the integrated resort development. It's the first time we have the new star, a combination, the trend, the trend now in resort development, which is the integrated resort development, the combination of hotel, combination of gaming and others, we have now in Cebu. Now, this case studies pertains to three properties. We just zero in the three-part properties to compare the methodology that we have applied. No? First, the property one, which is 1.4 hectares. This is a good beachfront area facing the Olango Islands. No? As I've said, this is a tip of the island. The other side, facing the other island, which is cleaner than those facing in the city. Because as we know, if you face the city and you are an island, it is passing by of different ships. No? So this one facing the other island, which is beautiful, serene water. And the other one is 1.6 hectare square meter, and which has 105 68-meter beachfront. The other one is 32. And the other one, the last one, property 3, is the bigger one. It is a 6.4 hectare property. Now with beachfront of 212 meters. No, very wide beachfront. No? So these three vary in terms of size, in terms of view, and in terms of its beachfront. Now, this one, the property one, as I've said, it has 1.4 hectares or 14,305 square meter. And then it has a beachfront of 32.9 meters. That is the wide. And it is accessible to Shangri-La Mactan, Palm Beach Resort, and then the Punta Engaño Road. No? So very near to Shangri-La, which is a 5-star hotel. And the market value that we have, it is the total is 950 million pesos, or in per square meter, it has 64,000, or equivalent in US dollar 1,108 per square meter. That is per square meter, no? In Philippines, we are using square meters in measurement. The other one, the property 2, this is 1.6 hectares, and it has 105 58 meters, no? Bigger. And then has an accessibility to Sheraton, Shangri-La, the very top 5-star hotel. No? And it has a value of 64,700 per square meter, which is not differ with the first one. And then, as you can see, it has a value of 1,100.71 US dollar per square meter. That is the value in that area. Now we apply in property 3. It's a large parcel. And we conceptualize using the income approach, not only the sales comparison approach to get the value. And we have the detail of the area. It has a 212.87 meters, and it is accessible to Dositani, no? Dositani Hotel, and then Amisa Residences. Both are 4 and 5-star hotel. As you can see, the value of the property is 636,000 or 2,358.57 US dollar per square meter, which is higher from the previous one. The previous two, it has a value only of 1,100. Why is that so? It's because we applied here the income approach. We consider the income approach in valuing the property using income approach. We applied or we consider the income generating capacity. No, as Dr. Discussed earlier, a hotel is an income generating property. If it has no income, it has no value at all. No? So that is the best way, no, to apply. And we provided a feasibility study on this property. No? That's the good thing. The feasibility study is coordinated with the city planning. No? The overall plan of the city, we connected, no, the feasibility study of this property and came out with this concept. This concept. This is the proposed marina resort. Previously, this is our feasibility study. Now we propose marina because of the character of Visayas being an island, no? Composed of more than 100 islands. And this one, this is the marina. And we are happy that the developer followed our advice. And it is now in full swing. So that's the best in summary, no? We have applied discounted cash flow, which projects future cash flows and discount them to present value. No, that is one of the weapon of the income approach evaluation. And we also applied the sales comparison approach, which evaluates property value based on comparison. And lastly, we use the cost approach. Using these different approaches in valuation and conducting feasibility study, we found out that it is the best way to value and plan an income generating property, most of all if it is hotel and resort development. So that's our findings in this and the future, no? The trends and opportunities, having several islands, having that what we call the ESG, no? The environmental consideration in planning and developing hotel and resorts development. We do believe that we can have a better valuation and planning of hotel and resorts development. And with that, thank you and mabuhay.